If you're feeling stuck, you're overwhelmed, or you just maybe feel like your life is on autopilot, it could be. And I absolutely get it because I was there too. But when I actually started applying these 15 life-changing habits to my lifestyle, my life completely transformed, without a doubt. And then if you stay consistent with these, they're gonna change yours too. Let me break it down one by one. First habit was making your bed in the morning. Usually tiny acts like that, making your bed, the pillows, the sheets, getting everything tidy and ready for when you come back later on that night from work, from school, family, the friends, the kids, and you're done with all your work. Not only is it one of the best feelings, but it's also a good feeling to know that you made something and it starts off the rest of your day with one task. Usually with that tiny act alone, it's gonna build a lot of momentum later on in the day, so you actually wanna do stuff. If the first thing you do in the morning is you accomplish something, it could be anything, something small, already you're gonna start winning throughout the day, I promise you. Habit number 2 is gonna be meditating daily. This stays in my routine until the end of time. This is gonna essentially clear your head before the world starts to fill it with all the noise, the distractions, the drama, and nobody wants that. In which case you probably wanna meditate just either in silence or at a particular frequency from 10 to 20 minutes. Just hear your own thoughts, clear them out. Whatever comes to your mind that's actually useful for you, make sure you remember that, and then also keep a calm and clear head throughout the day. Picture on what you want to focus on throughout the day, in which case you're going to have a better idea of how to accomplish it and when to accomplish it. Not only that, meditating frequently has also been shown to lower stress. So whatever you're trying to improve your focus on later on in that day, it's going to help immensely. Number 3 was meal prepping plus mostly whole nutrient dense foods for majority of your diet. So the minute you start to control your food, the minute you're going to start to control your life, I promise you. Fueling your body with whole nutrient dense foods gives your body steady energy. You're gonna crave a lot less food throughout the day. And we're talking specific, maybe like chicken breasts, eggs, because those are very whole nutrient dense. Wild blueberries have twice the amount of antioxidants than regular blueberries. Black beans, not only a great carb source, a good source of protein as well, and it has fiber. And then particular supplements, so there's supplements like vitamin D3, which is always usually recommended, magnesium glycinate, omega-3s for fish oil for your brain health, because we need that, a multivitamin as a safety net, creatine monohydrate. And the best part is when you start meal prepping in the morning, it's gonna save you a lot more time. You're gonna have a lot less decision fatigue to kind of like think about what you want throughout the day. So if you're used to using either like MyFitnessPal, Macro Factor, you don't have to keep plugging in the numbers all the time, especially if you eat the same meals all the time. And it comes out fresh if you cook it right in the morning. You do 3 separate meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner is what I normally do. It takes me about half an hour to an hour. I make my lunch and my dinner in one pan, and then on the other pan, I'll either make like protein pancakes, maybe a smoothie, and then you top it on. And then with the pancakes, you just add some wild blueberries, some apples, sugar-free syrup, and then you're ready to go. Number 4 is gonna be don't eat 2 to 3 hours before bed. I promise you, this is gonna save you a lot. Digest today before you sleep tomorrow. This is one of the main keys. Why? Because when you kind of separate that time frame between you digesting and then you going to bed, you're gonna end up deepening your sleep, improving your recovery. You're gonna wake up a lot lighter. It's not gonna interfere with your sleep cycle as well, because there's been a lot more studies coming out where if the closer you eat to bed, especially like a very heavy meal, it can possibly affect your sleep cycle. This is probably one of the most underrated habits for not only energy, but for possibly fat loss as well. Habit number 5, cardio isn't optional. It stays forever. Usually with cardio, it's not a punishment. Don't look at it as a punishment. It's just training in addition to training for your cardiovascular system and your heart health. And not only that, it's not only about the calories being burned, it's about the mental toughness you're gonna go through, it's about the endurance, and mainly it's about clearing your head right before you go into the workout or right after your workout. I notice too when I do cardio, and we're talking about zone 2, around like 20 minutes on an incline, just walking, enough where you could still hold a conversation. That clears my mind so much, improves my mood, increases all the dopamine and serotonin levels in my brain, so I actually wanna work out. And it could possibly reduce injury risk, especially the older you get, because once you're past your 30s, trust me, anything's possible. Number 6 is to trust your gut. I didn't learn this till like years later. I'm talking about like my mid to late 20s, if anything. Your intuition is smarter than your overthinking, I promise you. Some of the best decisions you'll ever make in your life isn't gonna come from the logic that you think you accumulated throughout the years, especially from your early childhood, because most of the times we've probably been lied to anyway. They're gonna come from that feeling deep down in the pit of your stomach where you just think you know, and you just have a real good answer, but you just can't explain why. That's gonna be your gut feeling. Usually with gut feelings too, they tend to come from whether you just met somebody somebody and you have a really good solid connection and you just feel that good sense of feeling and you take the same road, but this particular day you get that weird sense where you don't want to drive that day on that particular road, and then you come to find out the next day there was like a 5-car pileup. That's your gut feeling telling you, in which a logic wouldn't have told you that. Habit number 7, discipline is your safety net. I promise you this is your safety net. Usually a lot of people like to use motivation as like quick spark in the gym. So when it comes around New Year's, you always see like the gym goers come, new year, new me. But honestly, after like a month or two in, you never see them again, or you don't see majority of them. And that's where like discipline is really like the engine of the car. It's gonna keep revving no matter what. Hopefully it's not like an expensive car just keeps breaking down. You gotta get like a Honda, a Toyota, or like an old school like 80s, 90s truck, because they're gonna last forever. Usually the motivation disappears really quick is what most people don't tell you. That's why it's important too, with discipline, you build systems that keep you moving regardless of how you feel. If you're happy, you're pissed, you're upset, you're ecstatic, no matter any mood, no matter any feeling you're having, no matter what happened that day, you're still gonna keep going because of discipline. It's not gonna make a difference for you or your life. Habit number 3 was to stop juggling 2 to 3 jobs at once. This is very important. I think one of the most important things is really just to kind of focus on one job or one passion that really resonates with yourself. Because usually when you split the focus between multiple different things, you end up splitting the workload. Now you gotta deal with more people, more coworkers, more bosses. When you just focus on just doing something single-handedly or just building on one thing, you build a lot more success that way. Usually choose one thing that really feels right and really resonates with you, turn it into a service, make money from it, and you're gonna be more happier and more successful than you've ever been in your entire life, I promise you. And that what that really comes down to is what comes easy for you and hard for others. There's a powerful book named Ikigai, which states that your passion is what you're knowledgeable in, what you're good at, what you love, and what the world needs. So use that as a guidance to figure out what your passion is and turn it into a service, because you need to make money, because we all need to make money. Number 9 was taking a break between relationships. I know most of us hate to hear this, but you probably need to hear this if you're watching this. I think most of us need to learn to be whole instead of trying to be half of a couple, because that's all you are. You're just part of the couple. And usually with the time alone, it's better to be alone than being with somebody that's selfish, abusive, narcissistic, because if you are, and I know a lot of us used to be in those types of relationships, that's truly being alone. Time alone is really just gonna build all that self-respect. It's gonna allow you to create boundaries, not only between your next relationship and what you want and what you don't want, but all the current relationships you have in your life between your family and your friends who are actually there for you, who's not there for you, who's gonna support you, who doesn't support you, who's envious, who's not envious. You start to realize that, especially as you keep setting more boundaries for yourself. Usually the healthiest relationships come from people that are already full and just complacent with being by themselves, and then that partner adds, in addition, excitement to that. Number 10, you're gonna pretend like you're broke. For most of you guys are broke. For me, I used to be broke. This goes back and forth. It's usually not what you make, it's what you keep. Even if you're making 6, 7 figures, you're making $1 million a year, if you spend majority of it, you're still broke. You're broker than most people then. You just have a spending problem. Usually with living below your means, build security, it's gonna build a lot more freedom in your life, and it's gonna build the real wealth to take you further, to know that you're safe and secure with what you have right now, just in case anything like kind of completely switches on you. Number 11, you're gonna eliminate distractions and read nightly. Turn those 2 wasted hours that you would have done spending watching Netflix or on your phone into a new, different mindset. And the way you're gonna do that is replace it with 5 to 10 pages of any self-transformation book. That's probably one of the best ways to do it. Don't replace it with fiction, don't replace it with fantasy, place it with a self-transformation book. One of your favorite ones, or an author that you truly like. One of my favorite ones, self-transformation, would be Napoleon Hill, Outwitting the Devil. I think that's one of the best books to create a lot of discipline in your life. My second book, if I had to choose a spiritual book, would be Opening the Channel. Really trust your gut feeling, because sometimes logic won't always be there. That one's by Sanaya Roman, one of the best books you're gonna read on spirituality. Between those top 2, those will get you to where you wanna be in no time. And then if you keep doing that for over a year, the dozens of books you're gonna read is gonna create a new mindset and new way for you to think completely. Number 12, surround yourself with people you admire. Usually with your environment, it's a lot more stronger than your willpower. You know, we used to grow up hearing that like your friends are a reflection of who you are, which essentially is kind of true. Who you spend your time with is gonna shape your intentions, it's gonna shape your standards, it's gonna shape probably your future. So if you keep hanging out with all the people that do the drugs, the drinking, and you're the 3rd wheel, you're the 4th wheel, you're the 5th wheel, there's a good chance that you're gonna be in that wheel. You're gonna be that next person to do the drinking, all the drugs in the world. That's why it's important to be around people that truly inspire you, that you want to be like, not who just keep you average and below and just kind of keep you secure, because nobody wants that. Number 13, practice gratitude and thankfulness. This is very, very important and imperative. The most grateful people with the most grateful heart always attracts the most fulfilling life. Why? Because expressing gratitude is going to also clear your mind. It's going to reduce stress. It's going to shift your perspective. When you practice gratitude, you always appreciate, even on your darkest, lowest days, you'll always appreciate the things that you had or that you've gotten in the past and led you up to this specific positioning in this point in your life. But I also think that certain people in certain areas, nothing's ever good enough because we always want the next best thing. But you always got to practice gratitude to kind of keep you grounded and remember like what actually is important. Well, usually when you focus on what's good, on the opportunities, on the abundance, that's what's going to keep flowing in your life. When you focus on all the negative stuff, all the negative shit, it's going to come to you really quick. So don't ever do that to you. Number 14, never do anybody wrong. The universe keeps receipts. If you don't think the universe, God, karma keeps receipts, you're nuts. Because it does. Whatever it is you put back in this world is going to come back to you and hit you back tenfold. So if you're a cheater, you're abusive, you've done anybody wrong in your life, you steal, it's going to come back and hit you tenfold. And somehow, in which way, how? I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know the timing. I just know that it's going to happen and it's going to hit you eventually. Keep your actions and any actions that you want to do, or that any bad actions that you want to do, keep that to the side. Make sure it's positive. Clear it out, because that's going to protect your future. Last one, filter advice and always believe in yourself. I think a lot of us always outsource like decisions and take advice from everybody, which isn't a bad thing, but I also wouldn't take advice from somebody you want to trade places with. And a lot of us, between Gen Z, between millennials, and probably even boomers, we all got this back in the day, where somebody that you never want to be like just happens to give you advice on a topic that you just happen to be talking about. In which case, the worst part is, one, they don't know you. They don't know what you deal with. They don't know your family life, your friend life, your work life, whether you're happy or not. So how are they going to make a decision and give you advice based on what they really don't know about you? Only you are going to truly know whether you're happy or not in the position you're in. But that's not to say you can't take people's advice with a grain of salt, because I think that's very important. Because sometimes we always end up meeting people in the right timing, in the right positioning, because we can always seek something from them, or maybe shorten your path to whatever it is you want to do and make it easier for you. That is why it's important to always listen to your gut instinct. Always have that self-belief in yourself, because that's way more important than anybody else's validation or approval of you. Because at the end of the day, you're the one living your life, not them. So it shouldn't even matter. And always trust your gut instinct, because that's going to be one of the most important things that's really going to help you succeed and help you reach a happier and more fulfilling life. So these specific 15 habits changed my life, and they're going to change yours too if you implement them strategically. Pick one today, stick with it, and then just stack them over time as you keep going. And if this truly helped you, like my video, subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for more.